This is the old entrance to the Sherwood Forest Visitor Centre. The old one has long since gone now, and the new one has been built nearer the village. But I've just been walking up the Swinecote Road, and I had a species in mind, but in order to try and find that species, I first needed to try and find a fungi. The fungi I wanted to find was the birch polypore, which on a dry year like this is, well, almost completely absent. I know of two lots on two trees. One was on a tree located by Nick and Samantha Brownlee near the major oak last week. The others are on that old stump over there and another one of these trees behind me. There will be more this coming autumn as we start to get more rains, but finding Pictospora speculinus was my first port of call, so to speak, and then I had to hope that maybe the beetle was there or it might not be there, because the beetle in question is Diaparis boleti, and it's an absolute stonker. And it was found again in Nottinghamshire for the first time in about 130 years by Nick and Samantha Brownlee on some fungi at Kirkby in Ashfield. And then about a week or so later, the pair came to the Sherwood Forest Country Park and promptly found it again. This time they found two specimens on the birch polypore on a tree near the major oak. I came and had a look around the next day and couldn't find either of the specimens. And I've had a walk today up the Swinecote Road. I've parked my car at the bottom end and walked up and just looking basically on any of the silver birches that remain here for birch polypore. And then on that tree over there, that remains of a tree, I found and noticed some old specimens of the fungus I was after. I had a look underneath, gently broke one open, and inside there were a number of Diaparis boleti, which is an absolute beauty of a thing. Now, when Nick and Samantha Brownlee brought me over a specimen to photograph, it was one of the most difficult beetles I've ever tried to photograph, and it took me 3 days to even get a couple of usable photos. The beetle was constantly active as soon as you opened the lid of the pot, and so it had to go back in the fridge again, and it did take me 3 days to get some photographs that I was at least happy with, and that's what I'll be illustrating this video with. I have got a brief bit of footage to show the beetle, and it's a real beauty. It's a nice sort of roundish or oval shaped black beetle with 4 beautiful orange various sized spots on it. It's a fabulous thing, and it's one of those beetles that's something of a dream species. Tenebraenidae aren't that notable for their colour or particularly bright individuals, but Diaparis boleti is quite a joy to behold, and because of its rarity in the UK, I never thought that we'd get it here in Nottinghamshire. I'd hoped that it would return in Nottinghamshire, but I didn't think it would be just yet. The last record was, say, in the 1890s, if I remember right, and it was from the country park area, but then the species underwent a drastic decline, and I'm not entirely sure offhand if it did become extinct or was decreed extinct in the UK before being refound again in 2008. Chances are it remains somewhere, but it seemed to have suffered a catastrophic decline over many decades. But it is coming back again. Leicestershire had a record about 10 years or so ago, and it's surprising, say, if not Leicestershire gets something, there's a good chance that it's in Nottinghamshire. And indeed this year it's turned out to be the case. It's also starting to rain, so I best get in for some cover, but I will be putting photos of the beetles in here that I have. It really is a beautiful thing, and I'm so pleased to be able to have located the beetle. It likes sunny locations and it likes birch polypore. They're the two key indicators that the species might be present in your neck of the woods. I'm sure that it's going to turn up to be quite widespread on any birch polypores in the Sherwood Forest area. It's a species to look out for and bear in mind when you're walking past any silver birches that are in a state of distress or death and have birch polypore on them. So it's a great species to go out and look for because it's an absolute beauty of a thing, and I'm pleased that we've got it again here in Nottinghamshire.